Hey everybody, just wanted to try to catch everybody up on what's going on. And in my neck of the woods, it's kind of nothing right now, and it's all me and crap that's going on at the home. Haven't made a lot of progress on my card, and it has nothing to do with the business model. It has nothing to do with my market. It has 100% to do with me, and I've just got I got a mess, and my house, 31 years old, and all of a sudden things are failing, and mainly plumbing. But in order to fix it and do the things I need to do, I kind of need to do it all at once. So I got to tear insulation out completely under the house in the crawl space. Then I have to replumb. I've done 90% of the drain lines already because I had to, emergency. But I have to replumb all the water lines. Then I have to check all my duct work. I probably have to reduct. I haven't made up my mind. Not very efficient layout on that. I need to approve that if I can before I put all this back together and re-insulate and reseal with foam board and all that good stuff. Just something you got to do. You can't do it piecemeal. You just got to do it all, get it done, and I need to get it done before weather gets cold because got to need all that insulation and the pipes insulated and everything. So I just have to stop. It's one of those things. Just got to stop. I don't have, while I'm working, and I don't have a lot of spare time anyway. So I just have to take the time and get it done. I can't pay for it. The quotes I've gotten were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the plumbing and everything was like 15 grand for all the drains and all the water lines. I'm not paying that. I'm paying a helper to help me get under there, tear all that stuff out, and they'll help me run the water lines and the insulation and everything. I should be able to do the whole job for $5,000. So anyway, I wish I could give you more positive news on the card. Another thing I want to clarify, I've gotten some comments with people who think that I myself have been mailing cards on a regular basis. And I want to make it perfectly clear that myself, my own personal card, I am working on the very first card in my hometown. I've been in printing and mailing for over 45 years. I work at a mail house. I've been there for 9 years. Prior to that, I was at a printing company that did mailing. Now I'm at a mailing company that does printing. It's just what your primary function is, but we all end up kind of doing the same thing. The print shop had offset printing. At the mail house, I only have digital printing, but I have the same trade vendors you do for offset printing, pour over, printograph, things like that. So I just want to make it clear, yes, I am doing 9x12 mailing. I am doing shared postcard mailing, marriage mail, and in some places I'm doing it on a scale that would blow your mind. 50,000 pieces, and they are not delivering locally. I mean, we deliver, so far we deliver as far as Colorado, the cities in Colorado, and with huge mailings. We do all the work, and there's so much savings at the SCF level, sort level, that with 50,000 cards we can put it on a truck and send it to the SCF for a few $100s and get all the SCF entry savings. Plus we get our marriage mail discounts. Plus we get our containerization discounts for pallets and overall marriage mail and containerization saves about 8 cents per piece on a mailing. And I'm running into a traffic jam. Oh boy, oh boy. Maybe not. Yeah, it's probably an accident. Yeah, I think there's an accident. Lovely. Going home is always fun. Maybe it's just a cop. In our state, if there's a police pulled over on the shoulder, we have to go to the left lane. Actually, we have to at least slow down very slowly and pass as far left in the lane as possible if it's highly congested. And I'm in the left lane and I move over and ride the shoulder as much as possible so people have some room to swing. And it's good. I mean, safety of these officers is number one. We've had too many hit and injured, hit and killed around here. So I take it seriously. And then once we get around them, we're off. So, anyway, the mailing, I know it, I do it, I just don't do it for myself. And I wish I could share more, to be honest with you. Because there's some neat things going on, but I've got non-disclosure agreements. It'll be 5 years after I retire before I can say anything. So what I do for the company, what I do for clients, I'm stuck. But they have given me ideas for myself on smaller scale, and talk more about that. I will tell you, I can tell you this, that everybody else prints EDDM, offset printing, all the cards are the same. And you basically have a dumb mail piece, except for the QR code on there. It gives you some trackability. We have a service for EDDM at the mail shop that we call EDD Plus. And it's what we've referred to as intelligent EDDM. And most places call intelligent EDDM the ability to run targeted demographics in the front end. Our intelligent EDDM, because we print digitally, every single piece of mail can be customized. So our QR codes can reveal the zip and the route, and we can put a sequence on there so that we can see whether scans are repeats or scans are new. Because if we see 3 scans from the same sequence, we know it's just a repeat. It's 3 exposures from the same person, which that in itself is not bad. That means they're rethinking. So that's a good response too. But there's so many things we can do. If we know a particular route is in a certain neighborhood, sometimes routes are fully contained in the neighborhood. So we can actually change that on the fly, where a certain zip and route, suddenly it's naming the neighborhood. So instead of saying, like in my area, the Martinsburg, the Berkeley Spotlight Martinsburg edition, we can change that to the Berkeley Spotlight, Valley View edition, to target the neighborhood directly. And we could actually change the offers. This is the other thing. We can look at each route and the demographics of each route. I know, people get frustrated with Walmart and things like that with their electronic price tags and the Coke machines that know what the outside temperature is, but we can do the same thing with offers that are on the card. If you've got an extremely high dollar route, we can raise the threshold on the buy to get the discount. So a lesser route, you might say, 10% off any job of $5,000 or more, and a route with a very high income, you might say 8% off or 5% off any project of $10,000 or more. We can do that. We can do it on the fly. We just have to put it in the data. So that's one thing that I am not sure I'm going to hold on to and try to leverage. I know for my first few cards, they will be run digitally, because I want to run a few contests. That's the other thing. See, I really want to be able to keep doing that. It's more expensive than offset, obviously, because each piece is individually printed. Cost-wise, my cost is equal to what I would pay for an offset shop to produce the card. The issue is, once I'm retired, I'm not sure what kind of a deal I'm going to get from the mail house. We'll have to see. I might be able to talk him into a sweet deal for staying on the hook, basically, for handling some of their data work. I have a full studio at home that plugs in to the mail house, just like I'm sitting there. Same 43-inch monitor and all that kind of stuff. So I fully expect that they're going to tap me for doing some specialty work and everything. So I might be able to get a low cost print job in return. But if I can do that, there's things I want to do. Valpak, they offer this $100 check. I want to beat them. I want to offer a $200 check. Not even a check. $200 cash. I'll bring them hard cash. We did that back in Detroit, and we were running a promotion there on a website, and we got a big response. Cash talks, especially if you do, $200 and you break it into 20s and you fan out a pile of 20s. It just looks good, handing them a pile of cash. So I'll do I'll sacrifice $200 out of each mailing. And the piece will have serial number on there and the QR code. They just need to scan the QR code, register their name, their at least their email address, so we can notify them. And then at that point, they have the opportunity to opt in or to receiving special offers like flash sales from our advertisers that won't be presented anywhere else. And then our advertisers have the opportunity to run these flash sales very inexpensively. It won't be free, but we can make it cheap. But then we also have more demographic data to better assess the information we get back. I mean, the potential information is priceless. With enough mailings, the more mailings we do, the more scans we get. We'll be able to look at routes and say with confidence that this route produces an excellent response, an average of X percent. This route is not so good, but we'll have a profile of all the routes, and then that will help us do solo mailings, solo EDDM mailings, where we can better target specific routes for specific clients. We might find that response on home services is booming on one route, and where we find that response on retail and personal services is booming on a different route, and not so good on the home services. So that helps us, focus for those solo mailings. And by narrowing down the routes, we can do the solo mailings with somewhat precision and fewer pieces, so we keep the price down. It's just a win-win. So I'm seriously thinking of foregoing offset and doing everything I can to stay with digital. I just have to back up myself with some other vendors that can maybe provide it in a pinch. We'll see. I'll keep you. That's one of the things I got to keep you posted on as I do this. But I've got ideas that are, based on things we do at the mail house, but focused on my area. And these are things that are publicly advertised, so it's not like something I can't disclose. I just can't disclose every personalization feature that's being put on cards. Specific personalizations. What I've disclosed are basic stuff that's available to any client. So, and as I said, it's advertised, so I'm not really disclosing anything that's against the NDA. So I hope to be back on soon. Oh, my channel. I don't want to be parroting information that's been mentioned 1,000 times before by other channels. You know, the 9x12 business, it's not rocket science. It's, you've got a card, you've got X number of ads on the card, you need to sell the ads, you need to print them, you need to distribute them. And I mean, there's just nothing that spectacular. I mean, commercial postcard mailings have been going out since 1892 when Sears did the first noted commercial postcard mailing. Shared advertising cards, yeah, they've really ballooned or exploded since the introduction of EDDM, but we did them long before EDDM. We just had to use a saturation list. So anyway, my channel, I'm breaking up into two playlists. One is when I do get rolling back on my card, I'm going to feature my card in the line of a retirement income. That's going to be my focus, but there may be helpful information in there for everyone. But that's my journey, is the retirement income. So that's going to be my focus on those. But I'm also going to have the tips and tricks playlist, which is all the advanced stuff that goes beyond what you can do with EDDM retail, and even some tricks you can do with EDDM retail. But the focus is going to be the advanced things that really require a mail house, and I'm going to share one of those with you right now. So if you are in an area where there's a large, let's say you just have a route that has a large number of high occupancy dwellings, apartments, condos, where EDDM has not done so well because carriers are lazy and they don't follow the rules. Yes, they break the law, but there's a little bit of a loophole in there, which makes it hard to prosecute, because the prosecution is based on diverting mail from the recipient, and EDDM does not have an address on it. I found that's one of the reasons they do not really push prosecution on EDDM. When these carriers just drop them in a lobby at the cluster box and everything, don't put them in the box. I mean, EDDM, it's still fraudulent. You're paying for delivery to every single delivery point on that route, and they're not doing it. So it's not clear enough. The laws aren't written clear enough because they weren't written for EDDM. But it's just not clear enough to prosecute somebody. Now, so here's what you do. Once you've got a few cards under your belt and you're mailing regularly, you should be starting to deal with a mail house. to handle it for you, take that load off you. And when you do that, you can mail all your routes EDDM, but get a saturation list for the route that has your apartments and condos on it. They're cheap. Get them through Melissa. They are good for 3 months. Go ahead and pay for 3 monthly uses. They expire in 90 days. It's actually 95. But the saturation lists that come from Melissa, they are walk sequenced and to the carrier route so that you get your saturation level, your highest discount, your lowest postage rate, which is like a tenth of a penny cheaper than the EDDM rate. So you're not paying more, you're actually paying less. And technically you're paying the same. It's a tenth of a cent cheaper on the postage, but it's also a tenth of a cent less on the marriage mail discount on that group. So you end up paying the exact same net price. But those will be addressed to every single address. And now, if they don't deliver those, then they're in hot water because they actually diverted mail from the recipient. And that will clear up your mailings not making it into their mailbox. Now, at the end of 3 months, the list is not dead, so to speak. It's still a good list. It's a generic list. It's a bunch of addresses. Keep on using the list. You just have your mail house do what is called a delivery sequence file. It has to be done every 95 days. And they are basically revalidating that list for future use. And then you're paying them to do validation. It's not much. Sometimes there's a minimum charge, but it's not a lot of money. And you can just keep reusing that. But also you should check the counts of the list, and when you're doing your EDDM counts, include that route, because you want to be sure there's no major changes in your route counts. As soon as you get a major change in the counts, you will want to purchase another list. That's not expensive either. But to guarantee that those pieces make it to the recipient's mailbox, if you've got a lot of high density housing, it's priceless. It's well worth its value. So consider that. And you know how I am about mail houses. I believe they are the way to go. They make your life easy. They get you lower postage. In most cases, you will save enough to pay for their fees for processing the mail. Plus, it will cover your bulk shipping to the mail house from wherever you have it printed. You got to ship them one way or another. Get them to you, get them to the mail house. If you don't have a commercial address, you're going to save a lot of money shipping to the mail house. The chips ground. I have, the one I ran this morning was a savings of about $125 between shipping to our mail house and shipping to the client at at their residential address. So you can save a lot there. Just tons of savings using a mail house. Plus, you don't have to worry about it. You just send them your list, send them in a CSV with the zip code, the route, and the counts, and they'll take it from there. I haven't talked to Will. I need to check in with Will, see if he's added that export feature to the route snip yet. I'm hoping he has or is very close, because that will be valuable to anybody who wants to use a mail house, and just to be able to download that data for your own reference and preserve and look at counts and everything offline. It's going to be a nice feature. Okay, well, I think I've rambled enough. Hopefully I'll be back on fairly soon once I get all this home repair stuff. Be glad to get it done. I've already done my roof. There's really not much left after this. I should be good. I want to get it done now before I retire, because I don't want to be dealing with this stuff time after time through my retirement. I just want to replace it all, get it over with. The stuff that was in there, which was not as advanced as the stuff that's going in there, it lasted 30 years before I started having problems. So the way I see it, once I'm done with this, it should be good until it's somebody else's problem, because I probably won't be around then. So